All right.
Hey Pete, what do you guys like out of that like big jumbo formation that you've run a couple times with the 7 offensive line, 3 tight ends, and
Yeah,
Taysom? What are the advantages?
I think that well, you're putting some, you guys that you feel block pretty well, whether it's a run play or maybe even a pass play. But I think that Dan, Rochard, Doug Marone, those guys, anybody with the run game, Joel, those guys kind of put together the plan every week with the QB runs, and they come up with formations that they feel good about. And as they're studying the film, if they feel like there's an advantage for it, that's what gets put in.
Is there an element to that play, just like kind of like pure football, man on man?
Yeah, and I would say that sometimes the box will get crowded, and sometimes there's an extra guy, but it's kind of a physical downhill some of the plays, and Taysom might make a guy miss, he might run somebody over, but it's obviously an attitude play, yes.
How much of that is design versus Taysom just like kind of taking a step and then kind of IDing where the
Yeah, I think it depends on the scheme. I think a little bit as to what his footwork is, maybe the timing of what's going on with the play. So obviously, what the play call dictates exactly how it's being blocked against the defensive front, maybe the coverage, but it's all part of the play install.
Pete, last 6 quarters of offense have been high production. Have you been able to identify anything, I guess, singular that has led to that?
I think we've been playing in a nice little rhythm. And I think that, we're doing a good job on first and second down, staying efficient, getting ourselves last week, getting ourselves into some manageable third down situations. And, when you can convert those third downs and the drives sustain, you can call, you get more opportunities to whether run or throw the football.
Coach, sorry to ask another Taysom question, but regardless of how he's used, what position, what scheme, what's your perception of how difficult it is to tackle Taysom Hill?
Well, I think this. I think that's one of his, things that makes him successful is sometimes they do have an extra guy in the box, and he's able to make a guy miss or just, run finish the play for a couple-yard game. Maybe he gets 2 extra yards, but obviously he's talented.
Would you ever try to tackle him?
No, I'll pass. I'll miss on purpose.
Is there any reason that he couldn't get 10 or 15 touches every single week in that type of role?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason. I think it's part of it's the game plan, but the way that game was going, we had 80-something plays, and it was nice to be able to have more plays, more opportunities to get him the ball. I think that, again, he's a big part of what we do offensively, and anytime he's on the field, regardless of what position, you feel pretty confident.
What's the main reason he wasn't more involved as a pass catcher early in the season?
I think, well, I'll take the blame for play calls and not getting him those opportunities.
But I mean, is any of Jawan Johnson's heavier involvement overlap?
Yeah, I think when you look at our overall players, we feel pretty good about calling, designing plays to get anybody the ball when they're out there. So again, it's just for me and as a staff putting together more plays to give him the opportunity to do that.
Do you feel like you guys are starting to form like your offensive identity as the season goes on a little more?
Yeah, I think one game at a time, but I think that we did some good things at the end, second half Minnesota than last week, but I think that it's a long season and we got to continue to do that before we can say that.
How much have you had to adjust the game plan with all the injuries at wide receiver?
Well, I think that again, you look at your personnel, the matchups where you feel best about, but I think that, again, the guys that are playing for us have played and we're confident in their abilities. And so, again, it comes down to, you find ways to try to get the ball in somebody's hands that you feel confident with, and we're confident with anybody that's out on the field for us.
Would you rather see 48 runs versus seeing maybe 60 passes in a game? Does that feel like you're different?
I think if you would look over the history of the stats of the game, when you're able to run it that many times, it's usually a good thing. And so, again, each game's different. I think depending on how maybe the defense is playing and how you're attacking it. But I think typically when you come out of a game and you said, oh, we rushed it 35 times or plus, you're probably feeling pretty good about the end results of the game.
Coach, for somebody who doesn't know a lot about how like the film watching process goes, I mean, you have the most games possible from the Bengals last year. Like, do you look at any of their postseason or even their Super Bowl set?
Yeah, you absolutely do. I think you go back and, that's one of the things that the video is so easily accessible that you're able to go back and watch, and you can go back really to the film, as much film as you want to watch, as much as you want to put into it. And, you look and say, where has this guy been a defensive coordinator before? How long has he been? And so you kind of aren't afraid to use any of that film.